How can we stay on the ball in this complex world? Hello, everyone. I'm Thomas, and welcome to my channel. I do mainly educational content, a lot of videos, books, articles, a few courses, and a lot of them are about the tree of life. Here, this diagram that you see, and incidentally, probably the quickest way to learn the tree of life is by constructing one yourself. So if you look at the configuration, you can try to make a copy yourself. You can see how it's put together, and then try to construct one with a compass and a straight edge. And you should be able to do it. If you can't, I will give instructions about that at some point. But, you know, with all things sacred geometry, which is what the Tree of Life is basically, sacred geometry and numerology, the best way to do it is by doing the drawings yourself. So that's why I did the drawing myself. And maybe it doesn't look that great because I used a $1.59 compass and a 59-cent straight edge. Okay, so anyway, the Tree of Life here has 12 different categories, 10 circles or spheres, number 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then there's an abyss right here, which is an implied sphere, and a 0, which is above the tree. So 12 total categories mapping out our faculties of consciousness. This is our animal consciousness. This is our domestic consciousness, what we get from in the home growing up. This is the public sphere, what we pick up from the expert opinion. And then here is our imagination, whereas this is the real world, this is the imaginary world, this is our creative side. So this is what they tell us. They tell us what we're supposed to believe here. If we dissent from that, we come over here and we try to come up with alternatives through invention and artistic products. The sixth sphere is our free will faculty, our ability to make decisions and to pay attention. The fifth sphere has to do with our sense of justice, and this is our sense of law and order. And then we have the abyss is our psychic powers. So this has to do with in particular, our ability to to recognize omens and to act upon omens. Then the third sphere has to do with omnipotence, all-powerful, and that is tapped in primarily through sound and synchronization. And then the second sphere has to do with wisdom or all-knowing omniscience. And this is tapped in through basically shutting down our thoughts and then our verbal thinking. And then the first sphere is omnipresence, all everywhere, all at once, eternally. And then the 0 sphere above the tree is for everything that isn't part of this, which is nothing. So this is the nothingness aspect of the universe, or what's outside the universe, and what's not covered here. So those are the basic 12 categories. Now what I've done with the tree is I've superimposed a miniature tree onto each one of the spheres. So 12 here, 12 here, 12 here, and so on, for a total of 144 different fractal faculties or stages of consciousness. So these are stages of life. But those stages are not so much chronological as they are dramatic stages in life. And so if you would like to get a free copy of an annotated list of those 144 fractal faculties, just click the link in the description, and that will trigger me to send you out a free copy, and you can use it kind of as a reference point while you're watching some of the other videos as I this year, as I knock out all 144 different fractal faculties. You'll be able to kind of refer to that annotated list and do some comparing and contrasting and so on. It'll help you learn this matter. The reason why I do this is because I think that the Tree of Life is a very powerful instrument in understanding life and being able to, deal in this world right now. Because what we're really learning, those of us who are awakening, is that everything that we had trusted in the past is mostly a lie. And so we have to figure out something to rely upon. And I think it's important that what we're relying upon here is what the enemy uses. Okay, so they've poisoned all of our resources and all of our sources of determining truth and reality. And so what we have to understand is that they didn't contaminate and poison their own source. Okay, the source that they use is really like the only pure and clean source that we can use too. So we have to use their stuff because they've destroyed all our stuff. So that's kind of where I'm at with the Tree of Life. Okay, and so we don't have to use it the way they use it for evil. It's like a technology. It can be used for good or evil or both. It's neutral. And we can interpret it in slightly different ways without contaminating it. Basically, what it comes down to is it comes down to numbers and letters and geometry. Okay, so now in this episode, we're asking the question, how can we stay on the ball in this complex world? That's bringing up stage number 16. Okay, stage number 16 is right here within the ninth sphere, and this is the 7th fractal within the ninth sphere. So it's a combination of 9 and 7. So the 9 is our receptivity, heightened receptivity, our ability to memorize and imitate what we're getting from our home. And then the 7th sphere is our imagination and our creativity, our inspiration, our pleasure principle. So we've got the kind of the pleasurable and imaginative aspects of our receptivity, okay, and our memory. Now, what this one, number 16, is called is mnemonic devices, M to the N. Stage number 16 is about using creative ways to improve and or preserve our memory. M to the N and M to the N again, consonantly wise, like demon and venom and omen. 2 forms of perception in one. Helps us remember. Memory is moving backwards in time, and then retrieval moves it back forwards. Memory as the investment of free will, or of free energy, our life force, in the accoutrements of the self, our memory bank. Automatic and no longer conscious. It can be brought to consciousness. Memory is the tenacity of thought. The primitive memory operates on association. Then, after age 5 or so, there is a conceptual memory. Concepts are a more refined version of association. And then there is also circulating memory that keeps a vigil on our habitual deadlines. A lot to keep track of, but we can trick ourselves to remember things. We do this a lot growing up, using anagrams and numbers, like Roy G. Biv. Mnemonic devices using associative conducting through music, ritual, drama, art, and especially through sense and locations. Where was I living at the time of the event? Watch out, because mnemonic devices can become vices, and mnemonic contraptions can spring traps on you. The mnemonic can become chronic if we succumb to the moronic ways of blindly aligning mnemonics with the daily grind and not aligning them with our creative side. Personal mnemonics having the potential to go viral, to one day become nursery rhymes and idioms. Okay, so that is mnemonic devices. If you recall, about 3 videos ago, I did number 38, stage 38, which is called ritual pleasure. And that was the inverse of this one. That was the 9th fractal within the 7th sphere. Today we did the 7th fractal within the 9th sphere. So that one, ritual pleasure, that one was called mnemonics, and this one is called mnemonics. So the ritual pleasure is about the new moon, or rituals on the new moon, and this one is about coming up with ways, creative ways of being able to remember things. And this is something that we do throughout our lives, probably less as we grow older. And it's something that we can use to kind of anchor ourselves. And, we're being inundated left and right with things that we got to keep track of. So it's good to be able to have mnemonic devices to be able to jog our memory, but at the same time, it's folly to be able to use those mnemonic devices specifically on just remembering the daily grind, as opposed to trying to remember more creative things and things that are important to us in our lives. Okay, so again, click the link below if you'd like a free copy of the annotated version of the 144 Fractal Faculties. And otherwise, click the like, share, and subscribe. And have a beautiful day. And we'll see you next time.